Alter Code F, which is a revamped version of the original PlayStation game.
Well, there's also a brand new Wild Arms game that came out. This is one that de-emphasizes the Old West aspects of the previous games.
Can Wild Arms survive giving up the one aspect of the game that made it distinctive? Here's our review of Wild Arms 4. Let's get this out of the way right up front. The story in Wild Arms 4 is a complete failure. Granted, most Japanese RPGs seem content to deliver narratives that cover the same half-dozen or so themes over and over. But Wild Arms 4 attempts to cover as many of the classic cliches as rapidly as possible. War is bad. The theme song is the worst kind of syrupy fluff tripe. And you don't know what to do. Ancient weapons are hard to control, especially if they fall into anyone's hands except the headstrong teenage heroes.
He can't control it!
Adults can't be trusted.
Democracy cannot illuminate the future.
The demure chick can cast heal.
No one should suffer.
The only thing missing is a cadre of evildoers running a secret research program that brutally experiments with children.
It looks like all our elite peers are assembled.
Oh wait, check and check. In an overly crowded RPG market, Wild Arms always stood out thanks to its Western theme. Too bad the new installment has chucked the Wild West flavor out the window and settled for the usual techno-fantasy setting.
Looks like you need some corporal punishment.
Fans may find this isn't quite the Wild Arms they were looking for.
When hunting the wild arm, it's important to move with caution and stealth, for the wild arm is easily frightened. Just a step here and... Oh! There! Look, a magnificent specimen. It must be a juvenile. Let's kill it, shall we? I have you now. Oh, a fine specimen. I always hate to see them in pain, though. Why won't you die?
Wow, that's a long way to go for a horrible pun. The gameplay is the only thing that makes Wild Arms 4 worth a look. There's a tactical element to the battles that keeps them interesting.
How predictable.
There's also the fact that you're beating the hell out of things like books and girls in identical dresses.
I'm not as nice as I look. Am I this much of a softie?
The hex grid thing you see here makes for a lot of interesting choices in each fight. There are some unorthodox platforming elements too, but the novelty wears off pretty fast when you hit a staircase. Dear game developers, this is a great way to make us hate you really quickly.
Jump!
What is this world coming to?
A 3 out of 5.
Get it? Wild Arms.
I think they get it. X-Play is always here to provide you with the highest brow entertainment and satire.
Speaking of highbrow entertainment, it's time for viewer mail.
Today's mail comes from Adam.
What?
He writes, Dear X-Play, I am a proud Canadian fan that loves the show and my country, but after watching the review of Dragon Booster, I felt rather embarrassed, and you should. I was wondering, what are some good games from Canadian soil?
Well, Adam, that's a hell of a name, by the way. We are glad we made you feel embarrassed.
Shaming Canada is one of the 3 goals X-Play put together for ourselves at our team-building retreat this year.
But if you are looking for quality Canadian games, the answer is BioWare.
Yes, BioWare Studios is headquartered in Edmonton, Alberta. I mean, who would have thought they even had computers in Edmonton?
It's north of North Dakota. Who would actually live somewhere that's north of North Dakota?
Apparently the founders of BioWare. Now, they do make some really respectable RPGs, including Baldur's Gate, Jade Empire, and, of course, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
If you're not in an RPG mood, Silicon Knights in St. Catharines, Ontario makes Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem, which is a great survival horror game for the GameCube.
Yes, and they also made Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes, which is a really good enhancement of the original Metal Gear Solid, also for the GameCube.
There's also Relic Studios, that's in Vancouver. They're behind the Homeworld series of sci-fi real-time strategy games.
Yes, they're a couple of years old, but the graphics are simply gorgeous. This is the gaming equivalent of a MILF. You should check it out. MILF.
In Digital Extremes in London, Ontario, they co-developed the Unreal game. So there you go, Canada!
Woo!